guys, it's Ash from Elevate My Faith, and today I just want to talk about what it's like to be spiritually attacked by the enemy and how to battle that, because I just went through that this past week and wanted to just kind of talk about it because I feel like it can help other people that will obviously be tempted and taunted by the enemy and get confused about what they should be doing, and just how to battle that with God and the community around you. So yeah, let's just get into it. So it's just funny because the last video I posted on this channel is actually what I'm going through and battling with, because I just shared with you guys maybe almost 2 months ago now how it just was brought to my heart and mind and soul that I really want to have kids, and I had that peace that surpassed all understanding from God about it and everything. And then just recently this past week I lost it, and I went into self-doubt and fear and all these negative emotions about it, to the point I'm scared to have a child now. But now that got fixed, luckily, and I'll explain how and why. So self-doubt and fear is definitely a sign that you're getting spiritually attacked by the enemy, because that's just his traits, especially if it's about something you did have peace about, like I did, and then just went out the window, and then self-doubt, fear, and confusion got into the mix. That is all signs that Satan is trying to work on you, because he is the master of fear, confusion, anxiety, self-doubt, everything. He's there to destroy you and your plans. So if you felt like something was going your way for God and God's plan, and you had it on the track, and then you just feel like it blew up in your face mentally and spiritually and stuff, and good chance you are getting attacked by Satan, because that is probably what you are supposed to be doing. He's trying to stop that from happening. And then I'd even get these weird thoughts to stop going to small group and things that just did not make sense, because I don't hate small group, I love going there. But then like I said, once those negative emotions get spew out of your heart and into your mind, you just think all these terrible negative thoughts, and that's just how the enemy whispers into your ear to pretty much just throw you off your faith journey. So yeah, I was getting thoughts to stop going to small group, and all this stuff was overwhelming me when it really shouldn't be. Even on the whole car ride to church today, I was just filled with anxiety. I was upset. I was so confused, because I'm this is my purpose. I'm supposed to be trying to have a kid next year, and now I'm just terrified too. I don't know what to do now. But then luckily it's changed when I got to church, because then I was seeing the moms with their young babies or pregnant moms, and I was starting to feel a little bit sense of peace, but it wasn't completely there yet. So I just took the time to pray during worship about it. And then after the sermon and everything, and the sermon was really good today, because it was about not being a coward. So I thought that was a funny sermon for me, because after the sermon the pastors were there to pray with you, and I usually am too scared to do that stuff. It's really hard for me to open up and be vulnerable with other people, even Christians and stuff. But then yeah, that don't be a coward just came to my mind. And the one pastor was free and just standing there waiting for people to come up to him this is my time. I just need to go up to him and tell him what's going on with me spiritually. So I walked right up to Pastor John, and it sucked because of course the second I started trying to explain to him what was happening to me, I burst into tears. I told him how I had that sense of peace that surpassed all understanding about me trying to have kids next year with my husband, and now just completely got ruined. I just feel Satan's putting self-doubt in my heart. And I just felt completely lost, and I was just so upset I lost that sense of peace I worked so hard to get to at this point in my Christian life. So he just heard me out. He gave me a hug, since of course I was crying, and I just hated being that vulnerable, but I just knew I had to do it, because you have to get out of your comfort zone and to continue to grow as a Christian and in your faith journey. So I told him everything, and he says it's completely normal to feel fear about something like that, and it is a hard thing to overcome. And yeah, he has 6 kids, so he understands the stress of it, but he says that having kids is definitely worth it. He never regrets it. And he was asking me what about having a kid was scaring me. Was it the labor and trying to have the baby? And I explained to him it was more of the financial issues, because another thing that kind of spiraled me towards this self-doubt and fear is I decided, I'm going to try to get a part-time job so I can make some more money and get more money saved up before we have the baby next year. But then 2 of the part-time jobs I was applying for just fell through and didn't work out. And that, I think, started to add to my stress load, because now I went to that position where I'm trying to fix it myself and like try to provide for myself instead of letting it go to God. So, and luckily Pastor John understood that, because he says he's the same way with trying to just do everything himself and fix it himself instead of letting God provide. So then at that point, he just like prayed over me. He like put his arm around me and just prayed. It just meant a lot to me, because I just feel like he's obviously more spiritually connected to God than I am. He's a lot farther along in his faith journey than I am. So that's why it was really important for me to seek out a pastor at my church and to come to him about this problem so I could get more spiritual guidance. Because not that I know like my prayer is enough to God, but it is just nice to reach out to the community at your church for extra support. And it just seemed to help, because like after that I was like kind of embarrassed I was crying to him, but I was just more relieved and felt like this burden was just released off my shoulders, and it just made everything feel so much more better. So I knew I made the right choice going up to him and coming to him with that problem. So let's just do a quick little like summary of everything. So a spiritual attack looks like you're, just dealing with self-doubt, fear, anxiety, confusion, especially when you felt a lot of peace about a certain situation in your life. And then to deal with that, obviously, just continue that connection with God, even if you do feel disconnected during the spiritual attack, because I definitely did. And it added to the like negativity, because I'm like, oh, I'm disconnecting from God, like this is my fault, and like I'm not good enough now. And obviously that's also from the enemy if that's happening to you as well. So yeah, continue to reach out to God, and definitely go to church, because that's what the game changer was for me today to end my spiritual attack. Going to church, listening to the sermon, and then even seeking out counsel and prayer from a trusted Christian person in the community. So I really hope this video will help anyone else that will go through the same thing, because yeah, us Christians will definitely get spiritually attacked, because if the devil is bold enough to tempt and bother Jesus, he sure as heck will tempt and bother us. So yeah, I just hope this video will be like a little light in the darkness for anyone out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Amazing grace, how sweet